Hey guys, today I'm going over how to use math chips in vanilla. Now originally the video I made was 2 parts, but I decided to merge it into one. So these aren't new clips, these are from both of the previous clips or previous videos. So it was kind of merged into one, so things might be a little icky there and there. Just stay with me. If I say something is going to be in a part 2 or a part 1, there is no part 2, there is no part 1. It's all one video. Anyways, let's go. The first one we'll be going over is the variable chip. Now if we go wire, we can see we have different pins. Now they aren't supposed to be those numbers, they're going to be 0. But what you can do is you can add different values to these signals and they will output. As you can see, this is the inputs. There is no input, but there are outputs. These are just going to output the set numbers that we put for it. So I'll show you what I mean. So what we have right here is we have our stage light and we have a variable chip. So if we go to wire, if you see this little blue pin, it says on and off. Now it's set to 0, which means it's false, which means it's off. So if this number is 1, it's going to turn on the stage light. So what we're going to do is configure our variable chip. And let's say we want to keep it on the red signal. We're just going to turn it on to 1. And we're going to connect our red output to the blue output. So now it says it's inputting 1, which means it's on. Now there is no in color and no intensity, so you can't really see it. But let's say this, we up the intensity. We're just gonna up it up a lot. As you see, it's on. Let's turn that off. There's nothing there. But since this one's outputting 1, it's going to turn on. So it's basically outputting set values that can be used for pretty much anything, but in this case it's turning on the stage light. That's pretty much it for the variable chip. It just outputs the set numbers that you put. It's pretty simple. Now we have the combinator chip. Now this one, it's just as simple. If we go to our configure tool, configure it, and we see all these modes, you can basically change it to adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying, literally whatever you want. And as you can see on this left side, hold on, I have it on subtracting, but we're going to start off with adding. Go to our wire tool, and we have these different numbers. So essentially what you're going to want to do, let's just do this for example. We put a 2 for the red signal, and then for the green signal we put 1. And then essentially what it's going to do is it's going to add up all these inputs. 2 plus 1 equals 3. And it's basically just like a little calculator. Well, not a calculator, but you get the idea. So if we configure it, and let's say this, I wanted to do multiplication now, and we want it to do 2 times 2. And as you know, it'd be 4, so red times green equals 4. It's super simple to understand, and there's different modes, so it's essentially the same thing for everything. Let's say we want to divide something, and we want to divide 2 divided by 1, it's going to output 2. Super simple to understand. Now we have the chips in front of us. These are the 2 chips we're going to use, the random chip and the wave chip. Now the first one we're going to use is going to be the random chip. So we're going to move this over here, and we're going to click wire, and we're going to take a look at it. So right here you can see there are 3 different inputs and then 1 output. This one says generate signal, this one is the minimum, and then this is the maximum. Essentially what the random chip does is once a signal goes through the red pin and turns it to true, it's going to spin for a random, again like a random number between the minimum and the maximum, just like a dice. So if we configure this blue one, our maximum, and we make it 5, and then we configure our green pin and we make it 1, we can make it and spin. So what we'll do is we'll open our palette, find ourselves a button, up button. Here we go. We're gonna wire the red pin to the top red pin, and then we're gonna press it. And right here it's outputted 3 because it spun and it decided, okay, we're gonna put 3. If we spin it again, it could be the same number or it can be a different number. This time we got 1. Spin it, we got 4. You can make the minimum higher. Let's make it 3. So now it will only output a couple numbers. So we got 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 4. It will only output those numbers. It's pretty simple. It just spins between the minimum and the maximum value on the inputs. Now we have the wave chip. Now this chip is a little more complicated and it's probably the most complicated math chip of them all, but it's going to be pretty easy as long as you pay attention and try to focus in. As we see, we have 3 different inputs. One that says on and off, one that says the cycle duration, and one of them is the amplitude. Now, don't freak out when you hear these words if you haven't heard them before or haven't done much with them. This chip does relate with physics, but it's pretty easy to understand once we break it down. We're not going to talk about the on and off because it's pretty simple. It just turns on the chip and it's pretty simple. But we have the cycle duration and the amplitude. We're going to go with the blue pin and start off with that because it's probably the more more complex of the pins. Essentially what this amplitude does is we put whatever number you put in there and it will make a wave starting from the negative version of that number and the normal number. So for example, we put 3, there will be a wave that bounces back from 3 to -3 back to 3 over and over again. And our little green pin here, our cycle duration, is just the speed it does that. Now I made this little build to show you how it works. As we can see, our blue pin, our amplitude, is sent to 10. And this is kind of the way I made to describe that. It goes from 10 back to -10, back over again. It goes back and forth between these two numbers. And another thing you need to know, I built another one to show you. As you can see, this wave has a -2 and a 2. Now, one difference you can see from this wave to the other wave, or hopefully you notice this, is this wave is much taller than our wave over here. That's because the higher the amplitude, the taller it's going to be. A lower amplitude, or lower blue pin, for example, would make whatever wave you're making shorter in length or height. So, you keep that in mind. Hopefully that made sense. You can go back in the video and look at the little diagrams I made. But as a little run through back to this chip, an amplitude of 10 would mean a wave will be created that goes from 10 to the inverse, or the -10, back and forth, back and forth. And you can make it smaller or bigger. The bigger this blue number, the taller the wave is going to be. The lower the number, the shorter it's going to be. And one more thing I want to show you is if we click our configure tool and we configure this, I'm not going to go over this, but as you can see, we have different modes. We have sine, cosine, square, triangle, and sawtooth. Now, you can change whatever one you want, but essentially what these do is it changes the property of how the waves go back and forth. I'm not going to go over them, but I didn't want to make a long video for this. It's just going to be a little basics, but you can change how the waves go back and forth. That's all. Hey guys, I hope that video helped out for you. If it did, go ahead and subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.